got acting head coach Eric Brown. Coach, if you're going to make an opening statement, and then we'll open up the floor to questions.
You know, I thought our kids really laid it out there all on the line tonight. I really feel bad for them. They've had a good week of practice, a long week of practice, you know, with just one game this week. But we as a staff, Coach Patino, we're really proud of their effort and their fight tonight, and they did it together and overcame a lot of adversity. And you know, missing Coach Patino was hard. You know, our kids really you know, really enjoyed playing for him and laid it all on the line for him, and you know, we were just sad we couldn't pull that one out.
I'll start with the game. And actually, let me start with this. When did you find out that you'd be, you know, taking over for the day for the game for Coach Patino, and what was there any kind of close contact concerns with the coaching staff that you guys all had to go through at all?
This morning we found out as a staff, and in terms of the rest of the staff and everybody else, you know, there were no concerns from our medical staff, so we felt pretty good about that moving forward.
Was there, I mean, I don't know how something like this goes, when you guys all have your roles on game day. I know one coach will have the scout, stuff like that, but what exactly or what specifically shifted for you maybe today that you wouldn't have been doing otherwise, obviously, other than head coaching?
Well, we have a really good staff. We've got a great group of guys, a veteran group of guys, Coach Chu, Coach Hill, Coach McHale. They're all, I mean, we've been a lot of places and coached a lot of games, and you know, for us, you know, that Coach Hill did a good job, you know, managing the game offensively, and this was Coach Chu's scout per se, and he did a great job of, you know, trying to take things away. And Coach McHale has been a former head coach, and he's done this a long time. So we had a really good synergy and connection and staff or chemistry on the bench. We communicated through everything, and we tried to get it done, and we fell short.
The last one on that front is, did Coach Richard Patino give you guys any pregame advice? Did he tell you anything? How did that work out?
You know, we just try to stick to our normal routine. You know, obviously some things shifted with him. You know, he's our head coach. This is his program. You know, so we just try to fill in the blanks where we could, best we could. But you know, we had constant communication this morning, before shoot around, after shoot around, leading into the game. You know, he spoke with the players, and so it was a normal game day per se, just without Coach here, but he was talking to the guys throughout the day.
So is the plan always for you to be the acting head coach if something like this did happen?
I've never, you know, that we haven't talked about that. You know, I don't, you know, we haven't talked about that as a staff, and you know, I don't, you know, the first I heard of it was this morning.
So then, moving forward for Tuesday, how's practice going to look differently without Coach Patino?
Well, typically, you know, 2 days in between games, you know, we take time to show video and kind of go over this game, what we did well, what we didn't, and then move on and move on to the UNLV scout. So we'll cover some both of those tomorrow. We'll clean up this game and talk a little bit about UNLV tomorrow. But again, moving forward, you know, Coach Patino is going to be talking to our staff, talking to our team a ton. Just can't do it in person. And so, again, this is his program, and everything we do is for him. And we'll move forward tomorrow, kind of in a normal way, just with him via Zoom.
So, Coach, how do you assess what happened tonight? You got a big lead, plus 17 was the big lead.
It was
20-point swing and all, and you don't get the win in a tight game.
You know, I thought defensively we were pretty good in the first half, rebounding the ball, taking away their actions. I thought the second half, the biggest thing was our transition defense let us down. Our ability to guard the basketball, guard the bounce. You know, they just drove by us a few times, let us down. You know, and I think they finished with 54 points in the paint and 23 fast break points. You know, those are things we could control, and they weren't getting those in the first half, and that's where I think they broke us in the second half. You know, they shot 70%, was it, or close to it in the second half. But I think that's a big bulk of it.
Players came in, they talked about how this is part learning experience, enlightening, so to speak, to use my word, not theirs. Do you see it that way? You know, because they are a young team playing a veteran team.
It is a young team, and it's not only is it a young team, it's a group of guys that have never been through the wars together. You know, you're playing against a Utah State team that's extremely experienced. They've won a lot of games. They've been through the wars. You know, those kind of games, they've been through a ton of those games together. Our group has not been together a long time, so it takes some time to build that and get past that point. And so they're fighting, they're hurting, but again, we're proud of their effort, and we just got to move forward and try to get better in certain areas.
Before tonight, you guys were averaging less than 13 assists per game. Tonight, you guys got 19, and obviously that made a difference sharing the ball more. Patino has been talking about it. So why did it click more tonight? Why were you guys sharing the ball more?
Well, after that Nevada game, Coach Patino made that, we didn't play well offensively in that game, and we showed our guys why we did not, and a lot of that was not moving the ball. And Coach Patino made that an emphasis in practice this week on the offensive side of the ball, and we worked on it a lot. And, I think our guys have seen, when you move the ball, everyone benefits, and again, we had 12 assists, I think, in the first half and finished with 19 for the game, but for us to be successful, for us to get open shots, open threes, we're gonna have to move the basketball. And I think, we made 17 threes, and a lot of that was off good ball movement.
When they were kind of at halftime, actually late in the first half, they started adjusting. It looked like they were cutting you guys half, like trying to get you in half the court instead of the reversal back and forth. I know Bairstow was extended pretty deep, so a guard couldn't pass it cross court to another guard and stuff like that. But they threw a lot of defenses at you too, right?
They did. They threw a 1-3-1. There was a 2-3, I think even a 1-2-2 for one possession. And then they picked up full court man one time and fell back into a zone. They were throwing a lot of different looks at us because we were in a pretty good rhythm in the first half. And by doing that, they try to keep us off balance. I thought we took some quick shots. I thought we had a couple possessions, offensive possessions that got away from us in the second half. And that was the whole purpose of them doing that. Not so much to turn you over, but to speed you up and take you out of rhythm and shrink that clock.
Can you give us an update on Emmanuel Quach and what you do know so far?
I don't know much. From a distance, it didn't look good. Our medical staff right now is dealing with it. I haven't had time to talk to them yet, but we'll find out here shortly. But it didn't look good from a distance.
Obviously, he gets the first start tonight at the 5. So you guys are sort of already shifting to the necessity of small ball 5, small ball, because you don't have a whole lot of depth at that 5 spot. How much over the past week, and even before Nevada, did you guys already start shifting towards that reality of playing a lot of 5 out and a lot of small ball?
Well, I think you saw it a little bit when he played at New Mexico State at the 5, and I think there's certain games where he matches up at the 5 better than other games. This was a game because Horvath's kind of a perimeter big, and it was a good game for him to be at the 5, and so we'll see how this injury is, and we'll kind of base it off that. But that was a benefit of having him at the 5 for this game.
Coach, can you walk us through just the final sequence of regulation where it looked like Bean was out of bounds, but still they got the timeout?
Yeah, they threw that pass and he caught it, and he was trying to call a timeout and landed in bounds, and they got the ball with 3 seconds left, and they said he called the timeout, and that, I think, what was the start on the clock? 3.3. They ended up at 3.0, and they gave him the ball. It's not one of those things we could really argue. They reviewed it, and it's a veteran crew, and they made the right call.
Coach, it ended up being 21 points for Justin, but a lot of that was later on in the game and in overtime. What were you guys doing so well against him in the first half, even early on in the second half?
Well, I thought that he saw a crowd a little bit, and they're such a good passing team, so you really can't help off him too much because they'll just find shooters on the perimeter. I think they average 20 assists a game. That's 3rd in the country. But I thought we stayed between him and the basket. Second half, I thought he got bias on the bounce, and they got a couple switches that were to their advantage, and he just went straight line to the rim. And he's a good player. He's a really good player. He's versatile. He's skilled. He can play inside out. He's a tough matchup for any team.
It did look like they kind of got you guys on some pick and roll defense in that second half pretty consistently at the rim with the bounce pads, in the lane. Is that something that the guys should be better at this point, or are they still learning? Like, it looked like they were consistently using that same pick and roll kind of scheme.
Well, in this day and age, everyone's running a lot of pick and roll, so you cover a lot in practice, you play against a lot in practice, and you play a lot against a lot in a game, and over time it can wear you down. And if the ball screen is effective, because if you have one guy break down or get hit on the screen, it puts everyone in a rotation. And so yes, they did hurt us on the ball screen, and there was times where they just hurt us on the straight line drive.
Coach, 0-2 in Mountain West play, what needs to change before UNLV?
Well, we're proud of our guys' effort, and tomorrow, we're gonna get back together, rally these guys, review tonight's game, get ready for a tough UNLV team at their place. That's another team that plays fast and bounces the ball and gets the offensive board, so they present a whole other set of challenges. But we really need to focus on us and doing, taking care of the things that we can control in the next 2 days. And if we do that, we feel pretty good about Tuesday. But we need to review this film and get these guys together tomorrow and talk about what we did well and what we need to work on.
10 points for Saquon Singleton, but he's all over the floor, diving out of bounds, steals and blocks and everything else. What can you say to how important that is to have him getting, pretty much close to being just fully back?
Someone his size and length, and he moves pretty well, and he can play multiple positions. And when he's active, he can cause a lot of problems for teams, whether he's on the ball or off the ball. He's a versatile defender. And when he's active and playing hard, his length, bothers teams. And so we need that. We don't have a whole lot of length, and we need him to be disruptive on the defensive end.
9 points, also a career high, 8 assists in the game. Questions for Jamal?
Jamal, it was actually started late in the first half, but you guys defended really, really good. They were shooting poorly, or you guys were defending really good for that first half. Then they started hitting shots, and they were 70% in the second half, 80% shooting in overtime.
Yeah.
What changed for them to start hitting those shots?
Well, I think they've been an NCAA tournament team for a long time. They got a lot of old guys, so we know that us going up 16 in the first half is not going to rattle them. So we knew that they were going to come back with their second punch, and Beam, who had a great game. I see he had what? 21.
Yeah, 21 and 11.
Yep. So he's a great player. So we knew he was going to get his, and they shot tremendously well in the second half and overtime. So we just got to do a better job of defending. Though getting back in transition was one of our weaknesses. So I go back to the drawing board, get better at that.
And on the flip side, it was kind of the other side of the shooting spectrum for you guys. You guys shot over 50% first half. A lot of ball movement, a lot of reversals. They seem to kind of extend, so you guys only could play half the court. Is that what you saw, or what did you see that they took away from you in that second half?
I just thought they were trying to pack the paint in a little bit. Just trying to just get two on the ball, and have us kick out. Just make us make shots, which we were able to make shots today. But that defensive end, that's what wins basketball games. So we got to fix that end of the floor for sure.
Well, what was it like not having Coach Pitino out there tonight?
It was a little weird. He was able to be on us virtually. He at halftime he was on FaceTime with us. But it was obviously a little weird. I mean, we had to all make adjustments, but I like how our team was able to fight, and claw back. And we did some good things, but we do have a lot of stuff we need to get better at. So it's only good.
So when did you guys exactly find out that he wasn't going to be available?
We found out, I want to say probably 6 hours before tip-off. So yeah, about 6 hours, right around pregame meal. That's when we found out.
Look, I know you guys aren't here for moral victories. That locker room right now, I imagine is down, but is there anything you can take from this that is a veteran team, that is a team, like you said, that's been to the NCAA tournament several times in recent years, and you guys took them to overtime, had a shot at the end.
Yeah.
Anything you can take away from it right now, or is that just not the right time?
I mean, I wouldn't say that we're down right now. I would just say that we were looking at the perspective of we need to just get better. We're not looking at we're just taking it day by day, just trying to get better day by day. That's pretty much all I can say as of right now.
Can you look at what they did and take a lesson in poise in the future if you're in a similar situation down big?
Yeah.
Just take it play by play?
Absolutely. I think they're experienced, they're old, they've been together, they've been through the wars together. So there's definitely a lot of stuff we can learn from them. Just their poise, they're able to run their offense with tremendous pace. Get the shots they want, regardless of what the defense threw at them. So yeah, they're a very old veteran team. So we're going to learn from them and watch the film and just go back and get better.
Jamal, the way that Coach Pitino's talked about defense all season, the defensive energy that you guys had, and just everything how that was going on defense, at least in the first half and even throughout the game as well, was there something that was registering a little bit more, that was starting to click as far as specifically within the defense, what the coaching staff has been emphasizing?
I mean, I think we just got to help each other out, and communication is a big key for us. And also just knowing what to say, rather than just saying just random things, just knowing what to say, communicating what you do. Like, oh, guys back cutting, got back cut, I got help here, I'm in the gap, stuff like that. I think we got better at that today, and just keeping the ball in front. I mean, obviously it was a big, mishap for us in the first half, the second half, letting the ball in the paint. So, but I think we took a step in the right direction as far as defensively. I don't think did we lose on the boards?
No, you were
Up
rebounded by
Okay, so
4.
yeah, so I mean, we getting better in certain categories. So
Coach, you mentioned on Thursday when you talked to him that, you guys need more practice, like a hole in the head, but with the time that you did have for practice, do you feel like that time maybe helped with some of those specifics?
absolutely, I think we've really emphasized stuff on the defensive side of the ball, and what he said, just moving the ball side to side, just keeping the defense honest, and just the defensive end is going to be our most important fix as far as this whole season and just the next upcoming game. So
I won't put you on the spot for what this may mean long term, but Emmanuel's hurt again, Quach, and he had just kind of started coming on. Gets the start tonight finally and stuff like that. You guys are hurting so much in the post right now at that 5 spot. You guys already shifting a little bit towards playing small ball. I mean, it seems like the last couple of weeks you kind of had to make that shift anyway.
yeah.
If you guys have to play small ball, you guys ready for it?
I mean, we gonna be ready for whatever we gotta do. I mean, injuries are gonna happen. I mean, it's sad to see, for him and stuff like that. But we gotta have a next man up mentality and just get better and just keep going along and keep going.
Justin Dean at the end of regulation catches the ball. They say he was inbounds. Did you get a good view of that? What did you see?
He was out of bounds. So yeah, he was out of bounds.
All right.
Earlier this week, I asked Jalen about 3-pointers, and he said that you guys are actually better than you guys have shown during games. And Javonte hit 7 3-pointers today. Is that something you see him do constantly? during
Absolutely. I told him after this game, every time I go in the paint, I'm looking for him. Every time off a ball screen, I'm looking for him because he can really shoot the ball. And we've seen that, night in and night out. Even from house, I mean, we're gonna have struggle shooting the ball tonight, but we're gonna be able to come back and shoot those next ones with confidence.
Something you see whenever you watch Javonte play, he never seems to be forcing anything, just seems to be playing within the offense. Do you think that's something that the team as a whole needs to start doing a little bit better and letting the offense come to them?
I mean, we still need to have some guys be able to initiate and get into the paint and find guys like Javonte to get him open looks. So I think Javonte's playing his part real well of just being available, and because he can get his own shot, but we're working the ball, getting the ball moving, and he's working in our system. So he's gonna have games like this where he hits multiple threes, 6 or 7 threes, and like I said, I'm looking for him every time.
Well, first New Mexico State now, obviously tonight, what needs to change in those late game situations where it's just super intense?
I think we're really young right now, so we have a lot of inexperience, and that's also coming from me too. Just knowing what to do late in the game, where to be poised and just run our stuff correctly and just be calm. Knowing that we, what I'm saying, our offense is gonna work and it's gonna pull through. So just staying confident.
I feel like I was open a lot of times because of him, because a lot of teams are keying in on him, and it makes me gets me open shots. He was looking for me, he was finding me. So yeah.
What do you think shifted in that second half where their field goal percentage through the first 18 minutes of the first half was like 25%, they shoot 70 plus the rest of the game. You guys kind of had the opposite, shooting really good early and struggled in the second half. What switched with what they were doing defensively and also you guys that they were coming at you and hitting their shots?
They threw a lot of different defenses at us. I saw zone, man, 1-3-1, and also it's an experienced team too. So they got down early, but we knew that it was going to be a fight in the second half.
Is experience the main difference here, you think?
Yeah, but I think we took a step in the right direction today, offensively and defensively, and I think we can better from here on out.
Javonte, 0-2 to start conference play, how would you describe how your team's been playing against non-less opponents this year?
I think we're right there. Honestly, I think we could be 2-0 right now, but we just have to fix the little things and, like I said, improve from here on out.